Okay, I'm here. I'm running around like crazy, guys, so pardon me. Pardon me. I'm looking for some proper light because I think it's going to be too dark in here. Let's turn on some light. Alright, I don't know what you guys are gonna see when I open the camera, but here we go. I do this to you guys all the time, but let's see what we have today. 3, 2, okay, whatever. It is what it is. I am what I am. I look the way I look. I can't change it. So, uh, all right, guys, let me know if there's anything wrong with my sound too, because apparently sometimes my sound gets a bit muffled, and I don't want to be muffled for you guys. And I am sorry. I'm only working with my cell phone yet again. So, sorry, guys. Sorry about that. I know my technology is primitive right now. Hi, Zealich. Hi, Carrie. Thomas says Blair White is more of a lady than these modern Western. Yeah, well, that is true. Hold on, let me turn off some of these lights in here actually, because that might be one of the issues. Let's see. How's that looking? Am I too dark now? Here we go. So if I sit in front of this light, you guys will be able to see me properly, right? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I think we have a fairly decent light set up here. Let's put this here, and then, sorry guys, I know I should have had this all worked out. But the thing is, I can't tell until I'm here. I can't tell how things are going to be until I actually get here. Do you know what I mean? Okay. This is really dark. Oh my gosh, I look like I'm in the dark. Yeah. Hi, Fiona. Hi, Playing Down Under. Hi, Suka. Have we ever run away from the stream when you turn on the camera? I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. You guys may not tell me the truth of what you guys actually do. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Ann. Oh, you said the sound is muffled? Okay. All right. Are you guys, tell me if the sound is muffled, because if it is, I'm gonna change it. Just tell me if it is, because I don't want to go through this again, because I played it back and I did the replay on the videos, and a lot of times the sound is muffled. Not all the time, but sometimes it is. And I can't stand listening to it like that, so tell me if it is. Larry says it's fine. Okay. Full screeners. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna do the vertical screen on you guys. I won't torture you guys like that. I'm just looking for better light right now. One sec. No, this isn't working. How is this? Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, guys, so sorry about that. Try singing to test it. Go to the naughty corner. Definitely muffled and high. All right, look, can you guys agree on something? Like, maybe I should just listen to it myself, because apparently some are saying muffled, some are saying no. I mean, this is the reason why I don't adjust it, because some people are like okay with it and other people are complaining. So the muffling isn't that bad. All right, you know what? Just I'm taking it off right now. I'm taking it off. I'm taking off the air thingies, the AirPods. Where did I put them? I'm taking them off. I'm not dealing with this right. Okay, how's that? Happy? Okay. Say what you want about this. At least it's not muffled. Now you might hear it echo, because now you have to have full hearing on. So I don't want to hear any complaints. Better? Okay then. Well, cool. I guess we all win here. Saved, perfect. Okay, then. So why did you guys start saying? Oh, this whole time you guys were like, "Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's actually okay." Why didn't you guys say it was bad in the beginning? I'm seriously annoyed because every single time I get comments later saying, "Oh, the sound was bad," but nobody says anything when I'm live. No one says anything. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's fine." And then I listen back to it, the replay, and it's anyway. Let's move on. Let's move on because you guys are making me upset. All right. Let me see. We didn't want to go to the naughty corner. You guys act like I'm abusive. You guys talk to me like I'm abusive or something. You guys are funny. Okay, so oh god, there's a ghost. Oh, all right. Right. So guys, the topic that I want to speak to you guys today, you know what? I'm gonna go upstairs. I can't do it here. I just can't. I just can't. I'm I'm not happy. But I'm a woman. What do you expect? I'm never going to be happy. Give me a second, guys. We need to be quiet because the family is sleeping. We don't want to wake up the family. I'm the only night owl who walks around the place talking all night. Talking to myself, by the way. I talk to myself the majority of the time. But I walk around the house all night because I'm a night owl. That's what we do. Alright, let me grab a stool. Come on. Alright, here we go. Now, we're in the same place that we were the other day. Oy! Hold on, I'm getting the stool. Right. And we're here. Alright, so here we go. The thing I want to talk to you guys about was this. So, there was a video. I mean, not a video. There is a news report of a woman. She is an Oregon woman, Oregonian. I don't know how you guys say it, but she's an Oregon woman. She did something horrific to her child, her infant child, and I want to speak to you guys about this story because it is rather serious. Is that lava? What are you talking about? What is lava? Light and sound is great. Okay, cool. So this lady, she did something bad to her child. And how many wives does your husband have? That's none of your business. That's not your business. Shh. Quiet. Shh. But she did something horrible to her kid because of a man. And I want to make this kind of a series where I talk to you guys about things that I see. So one of the things that I see is how women test men. Okay. I want to make this a series of how women test men and then give you guys a topic of how they test men. In this segment, this is our first segment in the series. This woman, she tested her man by waterboarding her infant child. Waterboarding. So I guess the test was to see if he cared about her and the child. So she figured she'd cause bodily harm to the child to see if he was interested in coming to either save the child or to calm her or what have you. So she waterboarded her infant child. And as if that wasn't bad enough, she then put the infant in the freezer because she wanted to see if he cared. That was the test for him, to see if he cared about them or if he was going to come and save the child or what have you. This is why I tell you guys, and if you ask me the race of the woman, she's black. She's black. And it's not really a racial thing, but I have noticed that women are horrible at being single parents. And I know there's going to be people in the chat who say, I was raised by a single mom and I turned out great. You're lucky. You're lucky. Because
from what I've seen and with my own eyes, if you look on the news, if you look anywhere, asylums, prisons, single mothers, they don't handle stress very well. It's a lot to put on a woman. First of all, it's a lot on any person to have to bring up another generation on their own. But to have all of that on the shoulders of a woman, we in my culture, I spoke to you guys about this on Wednesday. In my culture, we don't believe that women should be alone, period. We don't believe in women being alone because we believe they should always be a part of a unit. They should always be looked after and protected. So when you have a group of people that should be looked after and protected having to be out on their own, and not only not being looked after or protected, but then also having to look after and protect someone smaller and weaker than themselves, it's a lot of stress. And I've noticed that women, a lot of women, especially today's women, because today's women, they want to be out, they want to enjoy life, they want to be the people on Instagram that they see, because right now social media is just a comparing of lives. It's not really about being social, it's about comparing and trying to see who flexes the best, or who has the most, or who is the richest, or who is the most beautiful, or who has the biggest this or biggest butt, or best car, or what have you. This is part of the reason why we don't put any of our cars online. But this is what social media is. It's all about flexing and who looks better and who can present themselves to be the richest, the most happy in their relationship, the most what have you. And with this culture of flexing, a lot of women, when they're stuck with a child, there's nothing flexible about being a single mother, about being restricted because you have a child on your hip. And I believe this is the reason why we're seeing an uptick in women who are doing the most absurd things to their children. I just saw today, actually, in the morning when I woke up. It was the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning. There was a story about a woman in the UK, another black woman. I mean, and you may say what you want. This is just the stories. These are the stories that are coming out. These are the things that are happening. Okay. If you guys want to say it's racist for me to keep pointing out that these are black women that this is happening to, I'm sorry to say, but that's what it is. If it were white women, I would tell you it's white women doing it, but these are black women. Another case in the UK, a black woman, a young mother. She's very young. I think she's like 26, 24. She has a young daughter, and she left the baby at home for 6 days so that she could go party for her birthday. She went and stayed at her boyfriend's house the night of her birthday. They went clubbing. Then the next day she went to another club, and the next day she went to a dinner party that ended up at the club after. The next day she went to the casino, and the next day she went somewhere else, but I don't remember what it was. I think it was like a barbecue, and then after that a club again. So this woman partied for 6 days straight, and her child was left at home. It was a little girl. Her daughter was only of 16 months maybe of age when she came home. She ended up calling the police because the baby was not waking up. She said, "Oh, the baby's not waking up." Well, what did you expect? Like, what did you expect? That the child was going to be making oatmeal and eggs until mommy got home? Baby can't cook for itself, of course. So the baby, of course, was deceased when she returned home after her parties. And now she's in jail for manslaughter. I believe a lot of these incidents are happening because women are seeking attention. They want the attention. They want to call out for help, or to say, I can't handle this by myself. Someone needs to come help me. Adoption is available, but a lot of people don't want the embarrassment of saying that they gave up a family member to adoption because they couldn't handle it. So, and that wasn't the first time that she left her baby out to go partying. You guys know that. A woman who leaves a baby for 6 days has already left that child for less time before, and nothing has happened. So she probably thought, I can leave the baby for another day and another day. And just because I left it for 2 days and it was fine when I came back, it was still alive, I can leave it for 3 days and I can come back and the baby will still be alive. But she pushed the limit this time. She went 6 days, and I'm sure that baby was in that apartment crying its heart out, of course, looking for help because it died of starvation. I mean, her daughter died of starvation. I don't mean to say it. She died of starvation and dehydration. And you guys know that's a very horrible death. That kind of death is not, I mean, you start hallucinating. I mean, I can't imagine what but anyway. So the purpose of this stream was to speak about the first lady. The first lady waterboarded her infant and put the baby in the freezer after waterboarding it to see if the father of the child would respond, if he would come to the child's rescue or come to check on her mental state, or what have you. The desperation. And I want to bring up something to you guys. Oh, here, I'll look at your guys' comments first before I move on. Most of these single mothers are not fit to be mothers. They have the kids, but they are not capable of raising them, hence the behavioral issues of their offspring. Yeah, because it's we know, right? I mean, we can talk about this, right? There's a difference between growing up and being raised. There's a difference between just making it into adulthood versus being brought up. When you are brought up, it's different from just growing. You don't just grow. You were, as they say, raised. You've been raised. You haven't you didn't just keep waking up every morning and every morning you just got a little bit bigger. No, you've been brought up. And there's a difference. And from what I've seen, a lot of these people who go into the Gucci stores and these groups and they're stealing and all of this, these aren't people who were raised. These are people who just grew. That's it. They just grew. They haven't been raised. They haven't been brought up. Sharon says, I can't blame it on the single. These young mothers have not been raised to be good mothers, to act this way. Latchkey and daycare kids grow up this way. It's very, very sad. Fionn says, my ex-wife used to go to Vegas without even telling my kids and just leave them alone. I couldn't get custody. Well, it's been proven that men are better single parents than women. Men raised, they can handle that stress better than women can. And not only do they handle the stress better, the children thrive in households where they just were brought up with the father more than with the mother. Typically because mothers, we as women, we need to be, we, and I don't care what anybody says. I know people don't like when I say it, people get offended when I say it, but women, you need to be under someone. You do. And this is the reason why women as single mothers still want to seek out men. They still want to seek out men that will be providers and protectors, and they still want to be under said man, but it's hard to do, especially when you have children, because now the children are being introduced to a new man, and then that messes up a child's psyche, especially if the man is not a proper man who, you know, in a lot of these cases, the men end up being trash men. They impregnate the mother. So now the kids have a new little brother, little sister, and then that man leaves too. So now the kids have to get introduced to yet another man because mommy is still out there looking for her soulmate. But it's really rough, and this is the reason why a lot of people will not marry Westerners, not just Westerners, but especially Black Westerners, but Westerners in general. Westerners, because of the lack of culture, the lack of rules, discipline, shame, dignity. I mean, the lack of all of these things is what leads to what we're talking about right now. The idiot woman. She was an idiot, but I mean, there had to be something going on. Hi, Neil. Mr. Renegade says, I know you don't like Fresh and Fit, but you would definitely stand out against those 304s and teach them something that's the truth. My thing is, I don't want Fresh and Fit to get offended by things I don't know. They might not like me very much. They might not like me very much because I don't want to say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. Go off. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because see, when I do it, I have a public image. I can't just say anything. People, I can't do that. See, you guys can do that. I can't. I have to stay quiet on a few things. I wish. Idiot is too nice of a word for someone like her. Yeah. Be offensive. Stop it. See, you guys are the ones who get me in trouble in the first place. I'm not. And I'm lucky because right now I have a very small channel, so I'm lucky. I am less visible right now. I am happy about that, but I still don't want to do that. I don't want to say anything because no. I don't. Mm-mm. I'll be quiet. Hi, Drew Beats. He says my ex used to threaten to hurt herself if I didn't see her. People like that are the ones who damage children so that the spouse or the partner that they're looking for comes back to see them. You know what I mean? You break up with her, all of a sudden the kid has a broken leg. You need to come and be with us because the child is sick. Oh, all of a sudden the child is having asthma and other issues where the child was healthy before, but all of a sudden that you guys separated, now the child is constantly with broken limbs, constantly sick, constantly something is wrong because she wants you to come back. She doesn't care about the child. She cares about you coming back. Adoption is not pushed as an option. And it should be. It really should be. Because if you're going to push abortion as the best option, which is more traumatizing, adoption is the more civil thing to do and the better thing to do that causes less trauma for everyone. It's very traumatizing for women. They think about it constantly, the abortion that they had. Man. Well, I don't think she would be compatible for Fresh and Fit. They are the typical, would you say, the typical red pill channel. Like, what's her name? Oh, I already know where you're going with that. Yeah, and the thing is, I can't. You guys understand, right? I'm not that. I'm not the type of robot. I'm not that type of robot that just Fresh and Fit says something and I'm like, "Arr, arr, arr," like because I've noticed that Fresh and Fit, they they see things very black and white, which is a good thing in a lot of ways. But the world isn't that black and white. And I want to say, like, I'm not the type of person to say, oh, there's nuances everywhere. No, there's not always nuances. But in Fresh and Fit's world, it seems like the things that they say, they haven't really lived them, so they don't have experience behind a lot of the things that they're talking about. An example would be speaking about marriages and traditional marriages and how things ought to be or should be or how they feel in traditional marriages. And I look to them and I'm looking like, what's your experience? Have you tried that yet to speak so strongly? I mean, I could understand saying, I think that traditional marriages would be this way, or I believe, or I've seen, but the way they speak about it with such conviction, I'm just like, you would think that they grew up very traditional, which I'm sure they didn't. Maybe the tall one did. Maybe the tall one did because I believe he's of Arab background, some kind of Arab African background. But the other one, no, I'm sure he didn't grow up traditional at all. But the way that they speak, I'm like, wow, you guys, I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? I could be wrong. I'm always open to being wrong. So maybe maybe they understand things better than I think, but I'm just talking about what I see. Those single moms need to be under the prison, not getting good men to marry them. Wait, single moms have to go to prison? Why? Wait, where? How did we jump? Wait, how did we jump from like? Wait. Are you talking about the women that killed their kids, or are you talking about regular single mothers should not? What? I believe that adultery should be a crime in America. I believe it should be a crime. I think it used to be at one point, but I think it should go back to being a crime. I think so. I know exactly, Doctor. I'm like that escalated so quickly. Like, where did we go from like this to that? But yeah, I think that adultery should be a crime, and I say adultery because I don't believe in cheating. I don't think that cheating is a thing. If you're not married, um, you shouldn't be having sex in the first place. So to me, and this is just how I see things because I grew up a certain way. See, I'm not talking from the red pill channels. I'm talking from my growing up experience in life. I'm not talking because Fresh and Fit said something and I agree with that. No. What I say, I don't believe cheating exists because you're not married. You don't have a marriage. So you being in this little friendship that you guys also have sex in, that to me is still not it shouldn't even exist in the first place. So the fact that somebody's cheating on someone when they're not married, they're just friends that have sex with one another. I don't believe in that. I believe the only real cheating out there is adultery. Adultery. You are married and you what is the word? Not adulter your wife, but you step out of your marriage. You're adultery. That's the only thing that I believe exists. As for cheating, I mean, being kids and being friends and having sex with your friend, calling them a boyfriend and a girlfriend and expecting full loyalty from that person, I just, no, I don't believe that that's a thing. Sorry, I don't. Because boyfriends and girlfriends, that should be a thing for kids. That should be a thing for holding hands, um, hanging out with one another. But sexually, no, it shouldn't be a thing. I know a lot of Americans disagree with me there because I know a lot of Americans take boyfriend and girlfriendhood so seriously. Like, that's the only thing that exists in America now is boyfriend and girlfriendhood. It's like every woman that's online, when they talk about a man and a woman being in a relationship, all they say is, oh, tell your boyfriend to do this, or make sure you tell your boyfriend or your girlfriend about this. What would you do if your girlfriend did this? Why don't you say, what would you do if your wife did this? Why don't you say, why would, something about husbands? Women never mention husbands anymore. They never mention, what would you say if your husband said this? Or what would you do if your husband thought of this? They always say, what would you do if your boyfriend? That I understand, like, Westerners take boyfriendhood and girlfriendhood so seriously, but to me that is not a thing. And if you are in your 40s talking about your girlfriend or your boyfriend, that's just shameful to me. To me. Because it's very juvenile. It's a very juvenile thing to do. I have a girlfriend. I have a boyfriend. It's like, what does that even mean? So you met someone that you like and now you're having sex. Great. Great. Whoop de doo. You found someone who will sleep with you. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I should be nicer. Maybe I should be like, yeah, take that seriously, but I just don't. How do you get someone before you jump straight to marriage? Well, that's not the way it works, Suka. Suka. This is this has been going on for centuries, Suka. This is not something that's new. Watch. Serious people who want marriage do not play around with girlfriends and boyfriends. They don't do that. If you are serious, if you're a serious person who really wants a future and you're so red pilled, not just like following Fresh and Fit, but you're actual red pill where you're actually conservative, you're a real serious person, you would do things differently. And the way that we do them is this way. This is why I married without having to date my husband. A man finds a woman. You find a woman that you like, or you want to marry. You vet her. You speak to her family. You speak to people who know her, who knows her family, her friends. You go to her father. You say, I would like to court your daughter. I'm interested in your daughter. Will you allow me to court her? If the father says yes, you spend time with her. You guys go to the movies. You get to know each other. You go to dinners. You you get to know that person, what they're about, their history, their likes, dislikes, and so on and so forth. And you keep it that way. But it's a finite amount of time. This is not an infinite thing. This doesn't go over a year. Over a year is too much. So you get to enjoy courting that person for 6 months to a year. And if you decide you want to marry that person, then you move on. And if not, then you guys dissolve it. That's how that works. But you don't, and I understand that today, in today's world, maybe that doesn't work as well because a lot of women don't have fathers. A lot of women don't have men in their family that will actually protect them or say, who are you going to go to when you meet a woman now? If you meet a girl at the club or the bar, you're not going to go to her and say, "Hey, can I speak to your father? Or can I have your father's number?" You're not going to do that because that's not the culture anymore. American will be like, "Why do you want to talk to my dad?" But in our culture, when a man says, like when my husband said, he said, "I want to speak to your father," I knew what that meant. That meant I might be getting married soon. So that's the way you do it. You don't just find someone and say we're gonna get married. You court. You do the courting and all of that. But what? I'm not even gonna read your guys' things. No, I'm not gonna do that. They also call them baby daddies. What are you talking about? Oh, are you talking about boyfriends? Are you saying boyfriends are baby daddies? Oh gosh. Forget girlfriend, use plaything. There you go. There you go. Because the truth is, it's nothing. This whole girlfriend thing is not a serious thing. I'm sorry, it's not. If you're having sex and you're having a girlfriend, and I don't know, I know Americans. Americans are like, okay, you be my girlfriend for some time, and if I like you enough, I'll marry you. But until I figure out if I want to marry you, we're gonna have sex, and you're gonna give basically everything a wife would give to me, but you're not gonna be my wife. So I see boyfriends expecting full wife treatment from a woman before marrying her and then saying, well, she's not doing this for me and she doesn't cook and she doesn't clean and she doesn't listen to me. She doesn't do everything that I say. I'm her boyfriend. I should have that right. Like, this is why I don't believe in this whole boyfriend girlfriend stuff. I just don't. What about when it comes to teenagers, Amira? Would courting work at such a young age? Courting works actually the younger the better because when your parents are more involved in your life, and typically when you're younger, the parents are more involved in your life, that's typically the best time to do that. And as people get older, especially like, let's say a woman has been married and she's divorced now, things are different in that case where the woman, if she wants to remarry or if she's on the market again, is different. And you still might have to court her, but she might be a little bit more decisive her second marriage. But when it comes to teenagers, it's like, I would say it's a lot easier to do the courting with a younger person than it is for a second marriage or so on. And I say second marriage because most of us in our culture are not getting our first marriages in our 30s. Typically, our first marriage is in our 20s. And if something does happen where the dissolution happens from the marriage, then you'll get remarried. But typically, our first marriages are typically in our 20s. So that's why I said I when I hear about I don't know. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but yeah. I do agree that dating needs to be more serious and way less casual. But that's how the world is now. The world is casual because men see the change in women that's happened over the years, over the decades with feminism and so on. Men have seen the change in women and women are continuing to change. So I can understand that men want to protect their assets and protect themselves by not getting fully involved with these women because they see that these women are not wives anymore. They're not wives anymore. They are competition, wannabe competition. They're not real competition. They're just wannabe competition to men. And a wife is not a competition to a man. So I don't know. I think part of the reason why we're seeing this fall, this decline in proper culture and marriages being stable and is because there's been a huge change in women. Women have declined in value, and it's their fault. They wanted this. They wanted this, and now they got it. And now it's getting bad. So, oh well. It's hookup culture. But the problem is, it will be fine. Fine. You guys do your hookups. You guys do whatever you want. But the problem is, children are being born. Children are still coming into the world. The world population hasn't, it's still coming. People are still coming. So it's like, this is the problem with this whole hookup culture. If these people could do this without bringing children into it, it would be better. But people are still popping out babies. The problem with marriage in America is the women are encouraged to break it up for cash and prizes. Pandora's box has been opened, and the only option is to let society finish burning. Looks like you and Samuel will be great friends. Women want a dick. Okay. Jay, you know what they want, Jerry? Jerry, they want dick. Jerry. And when I say dick, I mean Richard. Not that, because I'm not vulgar. But Jerry Springer. Jerry, they want dick, Jerry. Jerry, you like dick, Jerry? Did you guys see that episode? I don't know. There was an episode of Jerry Springer where the guy was saying that. He was like telling Jerry Springer, he's like, Jerry Springer, Jerry, you like dick, Jerry? Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't know why that just reminded me of that. Sorry. It was a black man, and all these white women were fighting over this black man, and people couldn't understand like why these white women are fighting over this one black guy who barely had any teeth and was skinny and what have you. They asked him, well, what is it that you guys see in this man? No, Jerry, I tell you, Jerry, they like dick. Oh my God. This is the world that we live in. This is the world. Okay, so anyway, I'm back now. I'm back. I'm sorry. I had a flashback to that. Shaming is a female offensive that they use against other women, but men don't. I agree. Amira, I think he means most women have penis envy. Oh, okay. My mind went somewhere else. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a thing too. That's a thing too. That's definitely a thing. That they, yes, yes. And that, well, you heard what I said about competition. I said they want to be competition with men, but they never can be. But that's what they want. I seen the episode. You know what I'm talking about, right? I was, oh my God. I don't remember how I saw that, but I saw it and I was like, he asked Jerry Springer if Jerry liked dick too. He said, Jerry, you like dick, Jerry? Jerry Springer was like, let's go to commercial break. No, Jerry, answer the question, Jerry. Rest in peace, Jerry Springer. Rest in peace, Jerry Springer. You guys are crazy. Oh, it seems that love is fading away from the dating and marriage scenes. Well, yeah, it is. And I said something a couple years back, and people, they didn't understand me when I said it, but I'm going to say it again today and see if you guys understand me now. I'll say it again. What I said a few years ago was that I believe that women are incapable of truly loving. And a lot of people hated me when I said that because they said women love harder than men. And I was like, yeah, outwardly, it would look that way, it would seem that way, but the truth is, it's no. Men, when they actually love someone, they they have more of an unconditional love for a person than a woman does. A woman, even when a woman loves her kid, her child, it still comes with conditions. Like, I've seen women lose love for their children if their children prefer their father over them, or if their child is, I mean, there's so many things that I've seen where all of women's love is conditional. And a woman loves a man for as long as he's able to be valuable to her. Like, if a man is able to provide for her, she's in love with him. If he's able to give her what she wants, needs, and desires, she's in love, and this is why women are so attracted to providers. But the moment that that man can't or no longer can do something, a lot of women, a lot of women's love just is flounder the right word? It dissipates, disappears, um, fades away. But yeah, I said that before, and people in the comment section did not agree with me. They said that women love harder. Um, Men are incapable of loving one woman at a time. So how would you think that they love harder than women? And I said no. It doesn't matter if a man loves three women at once or one woman at once, but I believe a man is more capable of loving three women at once than a woman loving one man. Does that make sense? Because that man will sacrifice his life. He will get up tirelessly every morning at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, and get up, and even with aches and pains and tiredness and weary and stress, he'll still go outside and make sure he provides for said family and sacrifices that. And I know women do sacrifices too, but I believe men's sacrifices is more noble because they do it without expecting anything in return. And they don't get anything in return the majority of the time. Men typically don't get anything. I mean, it's amazing that most of men's love languages is touch and affection. You guys heard about love language? Most men's love language is touch and affection, and the reason is because they're not used or accustomed to getting gifts. They're not used to people giving them all their time. They're used to, like, the thing that they don't get the most is touch. The thing that most men don't get is affection and being held or touched or hugged or kissed or what have you. Women, we get it all the time. But anyway, I mean, I'm going into a whole different. That's why I said I believe that men are the ones that love more than women do. So, God commands men to love their wife. There's not the same commandment for her. So, and that's why I said, for a woman, when a woman loves you if she respects you. If she respects you, that is her love. That is the way that I believe you can tell if a woman loves you. If she respects you, where she holds her tongue when she speaks to you, she acts a certain way around you, she respects your presence. When you are around her, she knows what to do and what not to do. Or she will make sure that you don't see her a certain way, like in a bad light. She's completely wanting to make sure that you feel respected at all times. I guess there's many examples I could use, but I would say the respect is a woman's way of showing love. Not all the I love yous and all the cute text or the cute voices that women do, like, oh, hi, honey, I love you. No, that's not real love. That's women, being affectionate and being sweet and kind and cute. But I believe that love from a woman is respect. What's wrong with Fresh and Fit? Your honest opinion, because I barely see their content. I don't want to talk about them right now. I'd rather us talk about what we want to talk about. Oh, okay, you're speaking to Boa. Okay, cool. Revolving Potato says, "Do you think all this from the seagull liberation of women and the concept of shaming being less used?" Oh, do you think that all of this is from the liberation of women and the concept of shaming being less used? I mean, no. I think that shaming being less is just a side effect of what we're seeing. That's what I believe. I mean, if you ask me, I don't believe that shaming is the root of it. I believe it's just a side effect of the thing. And it could be, as you guys called it, dick envy. It could be dick envy. It could be that, feminism. That's why I said feminism is the beginning of most of the evil that we see in the world today. And a lot of people laugh when I say that too, because they're like, "Oh, you just hate feminism so much that you just want to blame feminism for everything." No, no, it's not that I hate it so much. It's just that everything that I've seen that's come out of it has been death, destruction, and horrible things have been coming out of it. That's what I've been seeing. I've been seeing it as a competition to be like a man, to want to, act like a man, even kind of look like a man, but not have the responsibilities of a man, to not have the same accountability as a man, but you want to look like one and get paid like one and act like one. But yeah. Why the envy? Seriously, so dumb? Because women have been taught, I believe, through centuries and centuries and centuries that men are better than women. And the thing is, they are, if the women only knew. But for centuries, I believe women have been taught that men are better because men were the ones who were able to vote. Men were the ones who were in control. Men were the ones who dominated the world. Men were the ones who had all the freedoms that women didn't have. So I think the women got envious of that. They started getting envious of the men and started saying, "We want that too. We want that power. We want that freedom. We want the ability to just be rough and rugged if we want to, just spit, out in public if we want to and not be judged for it." And I'm talking about this is back in the times, not now, because women do a lot worse now out in public. But anyway, they were like, "We want to get paid as much as men do because, why should we have to work and we're only making pennies on the dollar?" It's like, yeah, because you're not doing the same job. But I think that's where the envy came from centuries of men doing what men do, dominating and taking care of their families. But a lot of women didn't realize how much work went into that, how much sacrifice went into that. And women could never be men. Men do so much without getting anything in return. Women could never be so selfless. And I know so many mothers out there are like, "No, I'm selfless when it comes to my child." It's like, yeah, well, men are selfless when it comes to you. And you're not a baby, you're not an infant, you're a freaking woman, a grown woman, and the man is still selfless for you. It's easy to be selfless for a child that came out of you. It's not easy to be selfless for someone that you met as a grown person and you're taking care of. That's when it's hard to be selfless for someone, and men do it all the time. So, anyway, I'm ranting. I'm sorry. Okay. Larry, I don't have my computer, remember? I don't have my computer, so I need some stories of the thing that you gave me on copy and paste because I don't have my computer. A man is selfless for the family. That's what I'm saying. Women always say, "Oh, women are selfless when it comes to our children. We give anything." It's like, yeah, well, it's easy to do that for something that came out of you. It's easy to do that for a child. Yes, anyone can be selfless for a child. Can you be selfless for a grown adult that you met outside? Can you do that? And men do it all the time. Yeah, exactly, Zealage. Larry's list time. It's coming. He just needs a second. Never be sorry. I'm here. We love all your rants. We all love your rants. I appreciate it. I just don't want to like talk your guys' ears off. You know, and I thought about that myself too, you know, even as a married woman, I thought about that because the fact that I believe that women can't love as hard as men do. I think about that for myself all the time too, thinking to myself, like, is that a part of me? Is that part of my biology as well? That I'm not fully capable of unconditionally loving someone because of my need to be taken care of. I have a need. Women, we have needs, and we're more of takers. We're more takers than givers. If you think about, you know, in history, women have been takers more than givers because we need to be taken care of. We need to be protected. We need that security. We need security. So I think about myself too, like, so is that something that's ingrained in me that I can't unconditionally love too? And even when I look at my husband and I think, I would do anything for this man. No, I would do anything. And but even then, even me with my I would do anything for this man feeling, I still think that he would do more for me, you know? I still think that he does more for me daily than I do for him. Like, just just watching this man get up every morning and do the things that he does with all the stress of the world on his shoulders, and he does it and he doesn't complain. Okay, so we have Larry sent us a few things. Here we go. Thank you, Samael and Larry. Both of you guys sent it to me. Okay. Gosh, I love the both of them. They both like, yeah, they both got to it. I love it. Okay, guys. Shout out to Samael and Larry. But here we go. I'm looking. Hmm. Give me the other one, Larry. Give me the ones that are a little bit further down because uh the right to shelter law, I want to get the last story that you had on the list and the two before the last one. Hmm. Okay. So we can talk about this for now if you guys like. Here we go. So, FBI lost count of the paid informants at the Capitol on January 6th. It's been reported that the FBI had to perform an audit to find all of the, and I quote, confidential human sources from different FBI field offices who were present during the so called insurrection. One informant was on the phone with his FBI handler as he entered the Capitol. Oof. Okay. Make sure you put them in order, Larry. Make sure you put them in order too. All right. I got it. So, a mom was launched into the air by a car driving. Oh, a car driving son. I guess her son was driving. So, a mom was launched in the air by her son driving a car attempting to escape police and is now being charged with obstruction of justice. 57-year-old Juanita Gray was sent flying like a rocket by her son, Jajuan? 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 Jaquan. No, that's not a K, that's a J. Jajuan. Jajuan. Whatever. 57-year-old Juanita Gray was sent flying like a rocket by her son, JJ, age 38, who was shot by police officers afterwards. He was shot by police officers afterwards. This boy, 38-year-old man, he led police on a car chase all the way to his mother's front porch, literally, in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Juanita will fully recover, but as stated, she is now facing obstruction charges for accepting an item from her fleeing son when he pulled up and got out of the car, and then trying to enter her home, which was thwarted by her son, who re entered his car and then struck her while attempting to flee from the just arrived police. One second, guys. I'm trying to respond to this text. Okay. So, right. She's now facing obstruction charges for accepting an item from her fleeing son when he pulled up and got out of the car and tried to enter her home. So he pulled up, he gave her an item, she accepted it, and then he got back into his car, and then he was trying to get away from the police. And while he was trying to get away from the police, he hit his own mother, and she went flying like a rocket into the air. And now she's being held on charges, or she's facing obstruction charges for accepting the item that he gave to her while he was running from the police. Wonderful. And then he was shot. Oh, the ghetto. Oh my gosh. Oh, the ghetto. Okay. No further information on this charge on Juanita Gray has been released. The ghetto. Okay. Next story. Legal gender clinics. Oh my god, there's a legal gender clinic. Okay. Legal gender clinics have now banned puberty blockers and transgender surgeries for children, fearing possible lawsuits in the future. This is the reason why they did it, because they're in fear of possible lawsuits in the future. This decision is in response to a sting of lawsuits against doctors and hospitals that perform these actions on children who, years earlier, who they did the procedures on years earlier. So I don't know where this is. It doesn't say. I guess it means all of them nationwide are now banning puberty blockers and transgender surgeries for children. I don't even know why we got this far in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, why did we have to come all the way this way? Why did we have to do all of this? Why did we have to have children suffer through medical malpractice and all of these things just to know that we shouldn't be doing this in the first place? Why? Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Sorry, guys. My leg hurts. Many of the children who had the procedures cannot be undone, which clears the way for a lawsuit in several states. Still, some people are angry about the ban, citing concern for their children's mental states if they don't get the gender affirming care that the parents still believe their children need. I swear, sometimes it's the parents. Sometimes it's the parents that are the children's own worst enemy. You know what I mean? Those in this group are considering an exodus to a trans friendlier state. Red states have outlawed these medical decisions for a few years now, but Missouri and North Dakota have joined them. Good job, Missouri and North Dakota, for joining the red states. Good job. Oh, goodness. All right, here we go. All right, I guess we're gonna do this. I wasn't ready. All right, here we go. Gavin Newsom, state of California. Gavin Newsom vetoed a bill requiring the consideration of a child's gender identity affirmation during custody battles. The bill was introduced by Democrat State Assemblywoman Lori Wilson. She has a trans child and believes that parents who do not affirm their children's identity should have their kids taken away from them. Try me, bitch. Try me. Try me. Just try me. Just, you know what? Say that to me. Say that to my face. Say it to my face. I say it to my face. Man, oh man. I wish. I wish. I wish. I wish. Just, come on, Lori. Come here. All right, let's. All right, I'm calm again. I'm calm. Okay. Assemblywoman Lori Wilson, who is the mother of a trans child and believes that parents who do not affirm their child's identity should have their children taken away from them. She says, as the mother of a trans child, it is jarring to know that TGI youth are at higher risk of depression, mental health crises, self harm, and suicide. They are more at risk for these factors than cisgendered peers. Gavin Newsom blocked the bill because of its attempt to change the legal standards of another branch of government. Newsom also vetoed a bill requiring the Corrections and Rehabilitation Department to respond to information requests by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Gavin Newsom also vetoed another California law that required human drivers to ride in self driving semi trucks. What? Wait, what? So he vetoed another California law that required human drivers to ride in self driving semi trucks. So that means he wants semi trucks driving outside by themselves with no humans inside of them. Am I understanding that correctly? So you want. Did you not see iRobot? No? Okay. So you want self driving semi trucks to not have humans in them anymore because you don't want to what pay the human to ride in the self-driving semi truck or okay, all right, okay, here we go. The law, if Newsom had signed it, would have potentially saved hundreds of thousands of jobs in California. Lorena Fletcher, head of the California Labor Federation, was shocked by the veto and vowed to make sure that robots don't take the jobs of human drivers. Other union leaders echoed these remarks and added that this law would have solved any safety concerns of the public at large would have had. Newsom usually enjoys support from the unions, but this decision has no doubt caused a rift between them since he rebuffed the pressure they put on him with their slogan, and I quote, sign that bill. Democrat New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez is facing federal corruption charges for allegedly taking bribes to support the Egyptian government and three wealthy businessmen. Gold bars valued at $150,000, cash, a Mercedes, ex- exercise machines, and even an air purifier are listed as some of the bribes he allegedly took. Feds contend that Menendez tried to meddle in the criminal prosecution of one of the businessmen by pressing Joe Biden to nominate Philip Selinger as the U.S. Attorney for New Jersey. I was going to say Northern Jersey, as the U.S. Attorney for New Jersey. They believe that Selinger would influence the investigation's outcome regarding, the the stuff with that guy and the Egyptians. During a raid on his home, $486,461 cash was found stashed throughout the property. Well, that's nothing. We have more than that here. Anyway, um, sorry guys. $486,461 in cash was found stashed throughout the property, along with 13 gold bars. It could be said that this mirrors the actions of Joe Biden himself, who admitted to tampering with the investigation concerning his son and Ukraine back in 2015. So, That's that. That's the news for now that I give you guys. I have $20 stashed someplace. I love that. That's cute. He who controls the weather controls the world. Oh, let me see. New York City and Chicago, I feel like will be the first to go, says Keela. Hi, Keela. When did you get here? Hi, playing down under. He's back. Menendez is a Democrat and thus above the law. Of course. Of course. We know. We know. How is that any different from modern? Wait, how is that any different than modern women? Wait, what are you talking about? What did I miss? They will be picking up robot whores at truck stops. These jobs will disappear too. I can't. I can't. Why are you guys so weird? Why are you guys like this? What is wrong with you guys? Where have I gone wrong? Am I the one doing this to you guys? I know I'm not the one doing this to you guys. I I can only think about these robots in thongs. Oh no. Oh my god, these robots walking around in thongs with one hand like this. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I'm done. I can't. I can't. Something's wrong with all of you. It's the sex bots you gotta worry about. They get close and then they something is wrong with all of you. You guys think that the world is gonna be taken over like one robot penis at a time. That's not the way it's gonna happen. That's not the way the world is gonna be taken over, okay? Oh my gosh, you guys are so weird. Honestly, I'm happier with the robots. Well, I wonder if the robots will tailgate like regular drivers do, or will the robots flick me off every time they cut me off in traffic? Will the robots brake check me for no reason? I wonder, will the robots get angry in traffic? I mean, we might be on to something. We might just say robots are better. Um, that's funny. We were just talking about a robot apocalypse stuff on my channel today. Of course you were. Of course you were. Larry, listen. I have been so calm today. I have been so relaxed. And Larry, of course, has to go to the naughty corner. Go, Larry, go to the naughty corner right now. 2 minutes. I don't want to hear nothing from you. 2 minutes. And you too, Suka. You, Suka, take Larry's hand and go to the naughty corner with him. 2 minutes. I don't want to hear from neither one of you. 2 minutes. I know. Something's just wrong with you. See, I can't I can't have a regular show because then they have to bring up something that has to be weird and unnecessary. Larry has a wrenchy, nothing I can do. Killing me. Is Larry going to the for spelling penis is wrong? No, no, he's not going. And stop saying that word in my chat. You go to the naughty corner too. Stop saying that word. Oh my god. Can we please move on from No, no, we cannot, Renegade. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. This is what we do on Saturdays. Agent, get it together. You're on probation. You're on probation. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I don't have my full capabilities today because, of course, like I said, I'm just using my phone, my cell phone. But um, I will try to have guests on even through my phone. So let's see if it works. Ooh, come on. There we go. So it looks like I can put that there, yeah. Okay, so The link is in the chat for whoever wants to come join me. Oh my gosh, my eyes. Yeah, whoever wants to come join. Suka, what did I say? You don't make me put you in timeout for real. Don't make me put you in timeout. I shouldn't be seeing your name pop up for 2 minutes. You see how Larry is not popping up? You should be doing the same, Suka. My gosh. Zelich says both are pretty bad in my opinion. Mm. Don't make me bite you people. Guys are funny. I want to talk to you guys about something else as well, but I forgot what it was, and it's on my phone, so I can't pull it up right now because I'm using my phone to talk to you guys here. So let me think about it. Let me think about what it was. 1 second. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. I need to. I still can't think of it. I can't because I know it had to do something with culture, but I don't remember exactly what it was. It was. I know I had it. It was about, yes, it was marriage. It was about marriage. It was, okay, I had just seen a video and I was just watching a video and I had the topic for you. It was, yeah, I remember it. I'm starting to remember now. Wait. Okay, it's coming to me. Okay, so there was this husband and he was talking to his wife. I got it. This is what it was. Okay, so I saw this video. This video was of this man. He took this video of his wife while they were having a discussion or argument. The argument was this man said that he will bring his grandmother, not mother, his grandmother to live with him and his wife. And he said, "You have to take care of my grandmother." He said, "I'm going to bring my grandmother here. All you have to do is give her medicine in the morning and give her medicine at night. And, you know, if she needs a diaper change, she'll tell you when to do it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. She barely bothers." You know, and the woman was like very irritable, saying, "No, that's not my job. That's not my position. I don't have to do that. Like, no." And he said, "What do you mean it's not your job? You're a woman. You have to do that." And basically, at the end of that fight, she said, "If you bring your grandmother here, you're going to not have a wife." And he said, "So you would leave me because I want to keep my family together?" And she said, "No, I already have you to take care of. I have our twins. I have a job, and I can't I'm not going to take care of your grandmother as well." He said, "I don't care what you say. I'm bringing my grandmother to live here. I don't care." That's what he said. "I don't care what you say. Like, I'm bringing her." And then she said, "Well, you know, it was bad." So, I wanted to give you guys a view on that. Hi, Savage. Hold on, let me see. Hi, Savage.
What's up?
Hi there. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you got a beard now and everything.
I'm pretty sure I had a beard last time, but it's still been a long time.
Well, it wasn't that beardy when you came last time.
That's true.
It's thicker. How you been?
Not bad. Is there
That's
any
good.
update as to what it was that kept you off the air for so long? I mean, like for a while you were gone and then you came back. But I
Oh,
never got the full, like, I didn't know exactly what happened.
I can't talk about that. I can't tell people about that. Then I'd have to kill you. I
Oh,
can't say
snap.
that.
It's
No,
like
no.
that.
Yeah. I can't tell you what I was doing. But I am glad to be back nonetheless, and I'm glad to see you here.
Well, I'm glad to see you online. Thank you for hosting me. I appreciate it.
No problem. We had a great conversation the last time you were here. Let me ask you, how have you been since we spoke the last time?
That's a good question. I mean, a lot has happened. We got a lot going on.
You
But
did have a lot going on last time we talked.
all's good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, last time we spoke, you were speaking about, I guess you said the Mormons were following you to try to recruit you, and the the Masons. What are they called? The Masons were following you too. I'm sorry, but you remember.
What
Has
I
everything?
remember, what I remember was our conversation about John Hopkins and about how gender dysphoria was like John Hopkins relay until LGBTQ came in and crushed that whole function, is what I remember I brought to the table. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
You're right. That
I
was the
think,
wrong conversation.
yeah, you got me all mixed up to have been
No,
like,
no, no. But I swear we had a conversation about the Masons or something like that. It was Freemasons and something. I swear we had a conversation about that.
but that's the one I remember. So, I mean, that was like maybe last year and been a while. I've come in the rooms, but I haven't been online for a while. So, this was me testing the online phone camera to see how well the phone works, and been not too bad.
He says he remembers that. Okay, see, I'm not the only one who remembers that. We were talking about this. Don't make me look like I'm crazy.
I
I'm not
swear.
crazy. No. No, well, let me tell you. The last channel, since you haven't seen me from the last channel, apparently, the last channel got deleted because I am who I am and I didn't want to follow the rules. So the last channel got deleted. So this is my second channel.
Okay, yeah, because you disappeared for a while, and so I'd figured I don't know. I guess exiled got exiled. Like I
But I didn't disappear. See, I thought you were talking about the last few weeks that I've been gone. No, I haven't disappeared. I moved over to this channel. Even after my first channel got deleted, the next weekend I was doing this channel on here. So it's just that you weren't able to find me because a lot of people lost me.
it's true. If I go to Google and if I typed in lion pride lion, doesn't come up unless you actually put in exiled lioness. And so I'd missed it, and I think at some point I put Amira lion pride, and eventually it popped up at some point. But yeah, you were gone for a while. I figured you must have been dealing with the federal airwaves or the internet or somebody, YouTube. Somebody must have hammered you.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. It was, but it was a good thing for me because my channel was not able to even progress. I was not able to grow on the other channel because I had so many subs and YouTube was blocking my content so much that my subs were all people who weren't even able to see my stuff. They wouldn't even see if I uploaded. There was no notifications being put out. So I'm a lot happier here because at least here, these are the people who are with me and they know me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I see you have a certain loyal following. I'm glad to see that you have at least a support base.
That's my pride. This is my pride. And these are the people who are with me no matter what. And yeah, they're with me no matter what. And these are the ones, I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Like, it's a good feeling to have people who stay with you. But what do you do? I forgot. What do you do? Do you mind? These are the
Well,
ones, I don't know how to say it.
I have a huge hand in having started Bitcoin. If you've ever heard of Satoshi Nakamoto, I mean, that's probably where I'm most famous for.
Mm.
Otherwise, I do security. I was in the infantry and I did executive protection for a long time. So I did a lot of security work. I've been married with 3 daughters and divorced and remarried. So, in terms of like the marital life, has been kind of crazy. But crypto, in terms of the invention of Bitcoin, I've been like I'm part of that whole original crew. And so I'm involved with a lot of international relations.
That's wonderful. So you might not want to say too much then. You don't want to say too much then because with that kind of heavy jobs.
I'll be all right. Yeah. Why? Is there any questions about any of those fields of background? Because and then to be clear, I went to medical school, and so I studied all the work to be a doctor. And then, like, when I came back, I got married, I joined the army, so I never finished my rotations. And then there was the divorce, and I'd finished the army. I did my 8 years, and so I'm in that limbo where I did all the book work to be a doctor. That's where the Bitcoin thing had kind of taken off from, and so then there was no need to go back to the medicine. I was a big role against COVID. I played a huge role there in terms of what some of the policy making was. So, I mean, that's technically what I've been doing more recently. I got more free time, and more recently, the focus has been on Israel and the Ukraine-Russian issues and what we're going on with Taiwan. So that's more or less what it is that I help advise on. Which is why I was actually attracted to this channel here, because it's rare to find any Muslim woman who was like a fan of Trump. So as I recall, I even started following you as kind of a Republican or red promoting function, which is like rare to ever see any Muslims that are pro-Trump or even females pro-Trump. And so that's kind of what sparked my interest originally to even start following this channel. And so I guess I've been a fan ever since.
Thank you. Wow, I really appreciate that. I appreciate that so, so very much. You have no idea. And yeah, I'm so happy to have normal people who like me and follow me, and not like people who hang out in strip clubs and have nothing else better to do with their time but have strip club story hours. What do you need, Keela?
Just come in and say hi.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's been a
Now,
while.
no, Savage, in case you didn't know, Mr. Keela down here, every time he comes on this channel, he has a story time about some strip club stories. So, if that's
Right,
what you
one up.
need, no, 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 stay, please stay. I need some normality, please. I need some, I need someone to be here. No, Keela, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, enjoying my evening. How about yourself?
Good, good. Is there anything you wanted to ask Savage?
Uh,
He's
you
an
know,
interesting guy.
what's your take on the Ukraine-Russo war?
Okay, if you have the time you want this story, I'll blow you away on this one. So the way that I perceive this war is it was all predetermined when it came to the gas and the gas lines, and there was two pipelines. And so majority of that war had started when it came to there being two pipelines, one planned, one unplanned, and then how the money was going to be distributed between either Russia or Europe. And so that was the bigger issue going on before this Ukraine war started. I'd say I feel like the problems there were settled before the war had started. Essentially, the settlement there was saying they're going to have both pipelines. It means the gas goes twice as fast. It'll supply both sides. The fact that they've both been built, they're just going to ride it out until the gas was gone. And so, to be clear, it seemed like the Ukrainians were already screwed in advance, that their gas was already pre-sold and pre-piped and pre-planned to have been moved either into Europe or to Russia. And at this point, there's two pipelines, so it's going both directions. We saw the one that was going into Europe got blown. They're going to fix that one. It'll be up and going as quickly as they'd ever blown it. So that's what starts off the tension. I feel like all that was solved in advance. And then the problem that comes after that is that Ukraine itself is split. And about 40% of Ukrainians are pro-Russian, the ones that are on the right side that border Russia. 60% of Russia is pro-Western Catholicism and European democracy and NATO. So the way I see this is NATO has always considered Ukraine a lesser, weaker country, that there's not like a huge support mechanism out of NATO for Ukraine historically. So it's interesting to see that now that Ukraine is all over the news, NATO wants them, Europe wants them, Europe cares about them, democracy cares about them. And then we have Zelensky. Zelensky is placed there, what looks like from the West. He's from Nancy Pelosi, blue, Democratic kind of liberal party. We see this guy on Comedy Central essentially as like a host. So we're taking a Hollywood actor, replacing him in charge. We see Sean Penn and Zelensky are leading the nation. So my impression here was like, then the real war that we're seeing now is a battle between Eastern Orthodox Christianity and the side that's with Russia, and Western Christianity, Catholicism, that's with Europe. And that's how the nation today is split in half, right? And it's a 60-40. It's like 60 for Europe, 40 for Russia, except that country borders Russia. So if you tried to have ever created that Ukraine is just this all NATO, all Europe function, their number one supply for farming, which would have been with Russia right next to them, it'd been like, it's not going to work. And vice versa. If we ever said Russia is going to run, own, and control Ukraine, you'd see that like Europe is never going to have allowed that function to happen. So uh, I guess what I'm trying to say is like it started off with the money that seemed to have been fixed. And then there's actually a problem with the people. And so Russia was saying it's going to go in on behalf of Eastern Orthodox to have guaranteed that Eastern Ukraine will ever continue to do business with Russia. So it's not as negative as the media shows. I would argue this is an opportunity for Ukraine to pull more money than that country would have ever gathered ever before. what's more important is that the leadership there is trying to invest the money so that the Ukrainian people actually experience the benefits of all the money going there. And that's yet to be determined. So like, as it stands now, while they're in the middle of warring, I feel like this war will end soon. Yeah. I'd say by the next presidency. Come into the next presidency, we should have been able to have ended this war, at least in terms of peace agreements. I feel like this war by itself, they told all the Ukrainian people in advance that this war was coming. So it gave a lot of people warning and advance. And so like, this is a very different dynamic type war. Like, where else do you have a war where we tell everybody it's going to happen first, right? We kind of predetermined how it's going to happen first. And a lot of what you're witnessing now is expenditures of old military assets. So it's an opportunity for America and the West to get rid of all their old stuff. It's also an opportunity for Russia to test again and get rid of a lot of their old stuff. So it's sad that it's taking place in Ukraine, but I'd argue that Ukraine was very well planned.
I wish I could think that. I wish I could be that optimistic. I just don't see that it will end that quickly. I mean, I believe if Trump gets back in office, yes, it will end, because there's no point in having it with Trump in office, because Trump is not, he's not going to allow that to happen. He's going to try to find a way to fix it. But
Can I chime in
with
real
any
quick?
type of Democrat in there, oh yeah, it's definitely going to continue.
So I've been paying real close attention, and I can see where I missed a couple of things, because I'm more focused on how NATO allowed Ukraine to pretty much try to commit genocide against the Eastern Ukrainians. I'd say Russians, but at the same time, Putin just said it doesn't matter. The course of this war does not matter, even if our great white hope gets back into office, because he and the world can no longer trust the American people to hold their government to account.
Mm-hmm.
And I have watched plenty of Russian TV where even the women are saying that this war could go on 5-9 years.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
expect
you've
it to
seen,
go that far. It's unlikely to go that far, is true, because this is more like a wasting of old assets. And so eventually we'll run out of ammunition, the assets will run out. And then, so the real battle now is the lines going to change from the old Ukraine versus this quote Russian invasion. And I'd argue, like, if you think about it, Russia's going to print maps to say that they took over, as much as the West and Europe will
They already
always
have.
print the map. Exactly. We're going to continue to keep the map the way it ever looked. And so it's more of a propaganda war. And that's where I kind of wanted to go with, is that a lot of the relay is an aspect of it eats media's attention.
well, I wanted to add something else, you guys. You guys are leaving out other factors, and that's the rest of the world. If we were in a vacuum, it would make sense what we're saying, but the rest of the world is watching. And now the rest of the world has seen that America is weak, that we won't do anything when our allies are being attacked. I mean, we didn't do anything, and it's like, okay, so and then also all the money that we're sending over. Did you know that Zelensky just asked for like what, 250 more million
325.
dollars? And it's like, it's crazy. I mean, it's looking really bad. We look really weak. We look pathetic. China is watching. Remember, China is looking. All of the other allies, Taiwan is watching to see what America does if their allies are getting attacked by another country. And I don't know. I just think something bigger is in the mist. And I don't think it's as simple, and I don't think it's going to be as easy as we think it will be. I don't think it's going to end like this. I think this has exposed us in a lot of ways, and it's exposed a lot of weakness in America. A lot of countries are now stopping to use the American dollar, the oil dollar. We're losing power, we're losing control all over the world, and the world is watching. So this war was really telling, and I don't think it's going to be as simple as we think.
And remember, guys, foreign, NATO generals are dying every day in Ukraine in direct conflict with Russia. And this is nothing to take lightly, guys, because this could turn nuclear at any moment. But thankfully, I stand by Putin and his word, and he says we don't have to use nukes. And this is really a war of attrition at this point. And Russia ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
People like, and another thing I wanted to throw in there is, what do you think about the fractures in NATO with Poland and Turkey turning against Ukraine?
Good question. So I would have encouraged Turkey to have improved its ties with Russia. And why? Because Turkey is a certain centrality of point for the Middle East as considered a neutral. So I don't think Israel was the greatest fan of Turkey. And you can see Turkey has like a certain relation with Saudi and Iran historically, but their position of being right in between Europe and the Middle East puts them in a crucial factor. And I'd say historically, like Turkey and Russia didn't always get along. So the encouragement was that Turkey and Russia actually create a greater function of alliance. When it comes to Poland, Poland is like a huge function of pull for NATO, and they've been doing everything to be testy and challenging against the Russian forces of function. They're a huge proponent of defending European sovereignty against Russia, and they have support mechanism from England and Germany and so on. I don't think Poland is any aspect of a strong neutralizer, that if there was a war between like Ukraine and Poland, Poland would win hands down. But if Ukraine is backed by Russia, Poland would have no chance. And you can see Poland is what's trying to create that marker of saying like Ukraine is with us and forget you, Russia, right? So they're kind of a
So hold on, right there.
aggravator.
So right there, see, this is something that I understand. Northwest Ukraine, used to belong to Poland, and and a part of me, in the way they're acting, when someone really wants to get over on you, like they'll gaslight you until you hang yourself with your own rope. Do you think that they're going to try to go in Northwest and reclaim the territory that they lost?
Absolutely not. So the truth is the United States has been advised not to go into Ukraine because that had been a weak geological location for us as a country to try to fight Russia. It'd been really stupid to try to stage ground in Ukraine and start this potential greater war with Russia in Ukraine would have been very foolish. I'd argued that was already brought up with Syria. That had been, we don't want to to start a World War III with Russia in Syria, which is where we were right before Ukraine. So if we look at Ukraine, the reason why the United States isn't there is not because we're weak, it's been because we're smart. The moment we start placing troops there, then we really are testing the limits and levels between like, does America want to fight a war with Russia in Ukraine would have been very foolish. So we supply aid and we show our support. And then there was a set of rules of function that have been nukes won't be used between Russia and Ukraine and Europe is kind of the general consensus at the moment, where we saw Russia threaten with nukes, but we've walked through where the nuclear scenario goes in the event that anybody pulls their nukes. Essentially, we'll wipe the world. If America gets nuked, our protocol is to destroy the world. So it's a strong deterrence for anyone to have used these nukes,
So
is what's true.
do you understand that Putin already has, stated that there will be no winners of this war?
He's right.
He's telling the truth. It's just saying like it's a perspective here as to what you call a win. So I mean, I would argue that just ending the war and then just no more deaths, we would call that a win, right? Versus it. Is there any?
That's
Is
a long way.
it can
And
be, guys. I'm just letting you know the Ukrainian war can be ended. I just want
no,
you to know, like,
it can,
how
but
many
there's just
people
way
here
too many
care
greedy
about
people.
the Ukrainian people themselves? And so that's one of my focuses would have been, is Zelensky doing for the Ukrainian people? That should be the review. Are the Ukrainian people, or do they really side with Russia, or do they side with Europe? This is the view. And so that country should be able to function with an alliance with Europe and with Russia like it has always done historically this whole time.
Well, to both of you, thank you for that topic. Do you guys have any topic about, or do you have any views on the other stories that I spoke about tonight with the mothers, the single mothers with the children, and using the children to test men or to get attention by either injuring their children, waterboarding their children, putting their children in freezers, leaving their children as they go party for 6-7 days?
I would chop it down to misandry, because they do this all out of spite of not being able to control the man.
I'm gonna leave these internalized, dramatic family function debates to you guys. Just that I appreciate that you even bring up these topics and kind of like review the different array of topics. Seems to be the standard per video. So typically every time when I come through and see the video, majority of your guys' relay is just down to earth life experiences and perspective. Where that's pretty much why I'd promoted your channel to begin with, Amira, was just saying like, and even who you invite on your channels. I've seen hosted on here to have been like Hayes and over
No,
time
no, no.
Sam
I
or
don't claim
Larry.
this
And
one.
we've
I don't claim that. I don't claim
oh,
that situation. No.
you've had decent hostings and decent topics, and so the only what do I have to say about that? I could do the statistics about our divorce rates in the United States and the level of single moms that exist here, and how I think that a certain aspect of these broken families has a strong history uh, and roots. Where I've been like, I'd be sitting here giving a history class again, kind of like before when we talked about gender dysphoria, or how today, or more recently, Dylan Mulvaney became a big problem, and been the Bud Light gone down, where there's a lot of history behind all this. So I mean, yours to me directly relates to the families and how many families are. Isn't America 50% divorce rate, the highest divorce ratio for any country in the world? Like we have the most.
It's creeping up to 55, 60.
Yeah, we have the highest single moms
In
than
certain
anybody.
demographics, yeah, in certain demographics is 60, 90.
Yeah, we're like the highest in the world.
Yeah. It's bad. It's really bad. I know. And I speak about these things because I don't want to see America fall. I don't want to see the West fall, because the West used to be the dream. It used to be the place of, freedom, success, milk and honey, as they say. And we're looking bad out here today. We're looking bad. So,
And I don't know who's really paying attention out there, but Florida getting rid of forever alimony, and they're going to push it to go federal. Tennessee, we just had a case get won by a guy who spent 5 years in prison for a child that wasn't his, that he was put on child support for. So there's laws going in that for mandatory paternity test before you even put your name on the birth certificate. And it's also going into law in Tennessee that paternity fraud is now a punishable offense.
mm,
And they're going to be soon pushing that into federal, which is good. And
great.
and there also talks about getting rid of child support, and it's going to be 50-50, 1 week on, 1 week off, and the child is not allowed to leave the school district in which the separation took place. So these are huge moves that are happening, in this land. Unfortunately, it's just not moving fast enough, but this is, there is hope. For these laws to get passed, that means God still lives.
I
I'm
mean,
wondering if that's happening because they've realized that men are not getting married anymore. They're seeing all these movements going on. They're like, hey, wait a minute. If we don't, they're not falling for the okie doke anymore. The courts aren't going to get their money. I think the gravy train's kind of rolled us, is headed towards the sunset on that. So,
I think they're starting to see that they're not getting anything out the men anymore, because a lot of men are struggling right now anyway, and they're trying to just milk a bull. Essentially, you can't milk a bull. It's not gonna work.
well, you can, but you're not going to get milk.
Okay, Larry, you
I'm
just
being
got
I'm
out
being
of
honest. I'm not trying to be
listen,
funny.
Larry, you just got out of timeout. Do you need to go back? Larry. My gosh. No, but seriously, I mean, it's really bad. I mean, as a person who sees this every day, family courts, um, it's really pathetic. We like I said, we defend the men. In my law firm, we defend men. We don't defend the women, mostly. Not because we choose not to. It's just that once you defend one man, other men tell other men that you're defending them, and all your clients are men. So
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing.
It's a wonderful thing. And we even have it on our pens for our law firm. What do we say? A law firm for men. We say the law firm for men. Like, we don't, but yeah, we see it all the time, guys. I mean, like I said, the DVPOs, constantly women claiming abuse for no reason at all. And the courts taking the okey doke for it, just believing the woman. The children always being put in the hands of the mother, and the mother is not mentally stable, the mother is not financially stable, the mother is not emotionally stable. She's just a nutcase in general, and children are dying as a result. Children are passing away. because they just wouldn't give the child to the father. It's like the father wanted the child, the father wants to be there, and the courts are just stubborn. They're just still stuck on mommy is the best option.
I have two more things to add. And also coming out of Florida, there is no more irreconcilable differences. And they're also going to try to push that forward. So there is just going to be no more women waking up and just be like, I want a divorce. So that's another huge thing. And that's one of the things, that's really going to fix, women's attitudes and, morals as going into these marriages. Already there are women all over, Twitter and TikTok talking about how they're breaking apart families with this law and telling the young girls not to get married. It's a trap, and they're divorced. Like, it is absolutely asinine what's coming out of their mouth.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to have this kind of news this week. This week, like I said, is mostly about culture and women. Today's topic anyway. I'm sorry to bring this kind of news to you all. I know it's kind of depressing, and a lot of you guys pieced out at me and on me in the beginning because of the topic being so hard and dark and rough. I know you guys don't come here on your Saturday night to hear depressing news, but I just have to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to just give you good things. I give you all of it. So
much appreciated. Much appreciated.
I guess that was my bad. You asked me and what I thought about tonight, and I've been like, the divorce rates are so high, and I guess like that's kind of a depressing kind of single mom like topic. I've been like, it is what it is. I think what's more important here in terms of future though, that we can recover from these things as long as like these type of talks and the spread across communities are clear. The debt ratio, this minus $30 trillion. So when we talked about this war, the Ukrainian war, for what that is, I'd be watching the minus $30 trillion debt ratio. I think that's more important as to how we're going to be handling how really what COVID did for how we took an extra $10 trillion, how we exchanged 10 trillion of our dollars that we used to owe China to ourselves. That's what I'm a little more worried about in total. The strength of the dollar. I don't know if you brought that up though with the BRIC program, or you said the petrol and how like the dollar might be switching. These are things that I would be paying maybe a little more attention to. Those things I think are going to have greater impact.
China just dropped $500 billion in American debt. So that means the interest rate's going back up another point, maybe another point and a half.
Probably, yeah. And the gas prices are still high. I haven't seen them go down. Like I said, the debt is at an all-time high. And for a guy who was part of the crypto, part of the Bitcoin creation, this is some aspect of where like an online cryptocurrency. In what way can we come up with a solution or solve for what the original debt function looks like? And so like I don't have the answer. Otherwise,
get back to the gold standard.
That's pretty much the closest thing we came up with. The AU, essentially like a gold, silver standard, and it's not accepted in total. And if you look at the BRIC program, they have both, like an idea for a cryptocurrency and trying to keep it solid to the gold standard. Mm-hmm. But it's creating waves, like I was saying, that have been like, if you take a look at BRICS, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China. Where's America? Where's Europe? Where are we? If this whole program goes, you can see it's like a challenging function on the debts.
Yeah,
it's a challenging function on the dollar.
But it's not all rainbows with BRICS either, because I know a few weeks ago, just after they finalized everything, India got into it with China because China came out with a new map, and China claimed some of India's territory around New Delhi, and that pissed off India.
I agree with you. I'm aware that they too have issues. I'm just saying if that continues to grow and progress forward, like looks like they're trying, that's going to pose more issues in our future as to how things proceed if we drop the dollar, essentially.
Someone in the chat, Leopold the flute is talking about Niger and the pipeline. Me and Larry are actually working on something regarding that, and I am going to present that to you guys in a separate video by itself, because I think it's a topic that needs its own it needs its own stream. So me and Larry are working on that currently, so don't worry about that, Lippo. We got you. But yeah, guys, I need to go because my eyes are burning today. I don't know why I'm so tired today, but I am exhausted for no reason at all. But I want to say thank you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for your conversation. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for the knowledge that we didn't know. We didn't know about the things that you said until you said it. So thank you so much. And Keela, do you have a strip club story that you want to share, honey?
I'll take 3 questions from the audience.
Okay, audience, go be
Oh
free.
Lord.
Be free, and I'll whatever comments that I put up for the highlight, then Keela will answer them. Oh my god. All right, so let's wait for the comments to come in. After this though, I'm definitely going to bed because I am so Carrie, get in the naughty corner right now. Carrie, that's not the type of question that we were Beak.
$100, Carrie. $100 plus tip. Some will. Some will be. Some will.
So some do? Okay.
What up, B?
I bet. I am not asking that question, Carrie. You are lucky you're a mod. I would delete you right now. Okay, Mr. Renegade.
I would say probably more from Costa Rica, Colombia, um, and Russian. Right now, my favorite one is a Russian.
The Russia?
She's a little baddie.
Okay, last question.
And as for Sukas, yes, they are terrified. Their job is hard enough already to have to compete with something that doesn't talk back.
I have a question. I have a question for you.
It doesn't talk back.
Yeah, but you can't negotiate either. Problem. Hey, no, but Killer, I got a question for you. The Russian baddie, did she teach you the true meaning of glasnost yet, or are you still
Wow, I'm sorry, say it one
working
more
on?
time.
Did she teach you the true meaning of glasnost?
Glass note? I never heard of it.
Glasnost means happiness.
Happiness? I mean, I guess in a way, with just her presence, she's. I'm on the
Did
other
she,
side of the fence, so I hear like
had,
all the
okay,
crazy stuff that happens.
well then let me rephrase that. Has she ever made you a cup of Mother Russia?
Cup of Mother Russian? No, I'm not sure
No.
of that.
Okay. All right.
All right, guys.
But
Thank you for
that's
joining me. Thank you for joining me enough. Next time, Keela, though, I do want you to give a story, though, like an actual strip club story.
all right. I'll work on it.
All right. Bye.
All right, y'all.
Bye, Larry.
Bye. Good night.
Night night. Okay. Like I've seen this word before online, and I'm gonna try my best to pronounce it. As I had what?
It's an acronym. It means if you know, you know.
Oh, I. So every video that I've seen it on, I thought people were saying like laughing. I thought it was supposed to be a cute laugh. But okay, never mind. All right, I'm dumb. Okay. No, nice try though. Listen, I try. I do my best. Okay, you guys should be grateful. Gosh, just yield your time. Excuse you. Excuse you. No, I will not be booed off stage by any of you. First of all, I cannot be booed off stage. You can't do that to me. You guys will not boo me. I'm not going to be booed. The naughty corner is full. Oh no, face palm. Excuse you, Zone. Excuse you. Okay, you know what? Bye. Bye then. Bye. With that, I yield my time. I yield my time. Good night. I'm not talking to you guys anymore. Bye. Good night. See you probably Tuesday. No, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. All right, then. Bye, guys.